Hey there, movie fans. It is time for a brand new episode of FYC. This is the only award season series you need to see between now and March 12th, 2023, when the 95th Academy Awards will be announced, and we'll be with you every step of the way. Joining me as always is the amazing Perri, Nemiroff, and the mighty Jeff Snyder. And this segment of FYC, we are going to dive into our predictions for the nominations for Best Supporting Actress. Overall, Perri, what's your take on the list here for Supporting Actress?
I feel like I'll just say this to balance out the intense reaction I got to the last episode. Ooh, this is a really weak field. Are we all happy that it's all even now? Just like I'm a little butthurt by the response to last week and all the shit I got for not having seen certain movies. There's certain ways these schedules work out, folks, and I spend every waking hour of my life doing this job. There's only so much time.
Well, also, folks, you know, it's only the beginning of November, and there's still movies we have yet to see. So the fact that we started FYC this early and we're already jumping into like all the major categories, of course, there are movies we still haven't seen yet. And listen, this is a good problem to have, because if there are so many movies and so many contenders, and we're still trying to catch up with everything, then it just means that things are really kind of getting back to the way they were prior to the pandemic. So I look at this as a really good problem. And I've said this a million times during FYC, we're going to be doing these categories again and maybe even again. So this is not our final list of predictions.
I like that silver lining, man. To be fair to everyone out there, a lot of people were pissed I haven't seen Elvis yet. And yes, I keep meaning to catch up on that, and it will happen when I have time. But I also did think it might be a good idea, because we seem to have picked up a lot of new viewers over the last couple of weeks, just to explain what we do here on FYC. That when we discuss these movies, we're not personally reviewing these films. We're award season prognosticators. We are trying to predict what is going to wind up getting the nomination. Every once in a while, sometimes our hearts win out and we wind up adding someone to the mix that maybe doesn't have the best possible chance. But for the most part, we are predicting the likely nominees for these categories.
Exactly. That's the key, is we're predicting what is going to get nominated, not what we want to get nominated at all. We can't resist the urge to jump in with our support on those maybe underdogs like we've done in the past. But that is the job here. Jeff, what is your take on?
It's part punditry. The job, though, is part punditry and part, sharing that passion and getting voters maybe excited about, a candidate who's, may not have this huge campaign. But I am a man of the people, and I will join you all in busting Perri's proverbial balls for having not seen.
Oh, please. It's like your one opportunity to my 100 to do that back to you. So be prepared, my friend.
I know. Well, you have better access, but
well, this is what makes the show so much fun. So we're gonna, like I said, dive into supporting actress. And Jeff, what is your take on the field of supporting actress nominees, potential nominees this year?
4 words for you. 4 words.
Okay.
An embarrassment of riches.
I agree. So far on FYC, on all the major predictions that we've done in the major categories, I think this is the one that's that I've really had the hardest time with, the ones that I keep sort of like going back and forth on my listings, on my rankings, on moving things off the must noms to the honorable mentions and then back again. But that is a good problem to have. So let's get right into it with our first pick. Perri, you go first. Who is your number one nominee? Yeah,
number one.
Man, the ordering is really stressing me out, because I don't feel super confident in the way that I have these listed, but I'll commit to starting with Jessie Buckley for Women Talking for now.
Okay.
For now. But I think that entire cast is excellent. I think this particular category, minus maybe one, I'm really curious to see how the public responds to the movie, either like bolsters or takes away from the momentum of the campaign, because Women Talking has yet to come out. I feel like there have been some reviews out of the festivals, but the internet has yet to be flooded with them, and I'm not really sure. Like, it feels like it's got a good chance of being a firm contender in many a category, but in terms of picking where something falls, like a Jessie Buckley on this list, I'm still not totally confident, but that's what I'm going with for right now.
Jeff, you mentioned the words embarrassment of riches. I mean, you can apply that to just woman talking with all of the potential nominees in this category, but I think there are really, really just two of this cast, and it's a bold statement there, that really have a chance of getting nominated. Jeff, where do you have Jessie Buckley on your top 5?
I love Jessie Buckley. You guys know this. She was my up and coming of the month. I called this. So, bless her heart. But I have her on honorable mentions.
Okay, I get it. It's like you said, this is a tough category. I have Jessie Buckley on my.
She's great in Women Talking, just because she's a great actress. Claire Foy is very good in the movie because she's a very good actress.
Right.
But I wonder if the two of them could cancel each other out somehow. Again, there are some really strong performances that some of you could even consider co-leads this year. And that's with Michelle Williams not even being in this category.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even updated. As I'm doing it, I haven't even updated it with the Carey Mulligan switch and everything. So I'm just saying, I think it may be tougher for Jessie Buckley than we think.
Well, I actually have Jessie Buckley in my top 5. She is my number 4. And I went back and forth between Jessie Buckley and with Claire Foy. Both are fantastic in the film. And again, this change could be different the next time we cover supporting actress. But right now, I have my number 4 at Jessie Buckley. Perri has her number 1. So, Jeff, even though it's your honorable mention, that still kind of does put her on the list. But we're just getting started on this episode of FYC. So we'll have to see things shake out as we progress. Jeff, who do you have at number 1?
No. You have to do your number 1.
No. I said you. You're always next.
I called it first. That's why I said I'm going third.
Okay.
Say it at the same time.
All right. My number 1 is Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I thought that she was. What? She is awesome in that movie.
I wanted to let you speak so badly, but that just dribbled out of my mouth, and I just
love that film to pieces. When I saw that at South by as the opening night film, I just fell in love with everything about Everything Everywhere All at Once. And Jamie Lee Curtis has never been nominated for an Academy Award. This is going to be her first one. And I am so excited by the prospect of Jamie Lee Curtis getting nominated. I put her at number 1 on my potential nominations list for supporting actress with so much delight and comfort, but I get the feeling I might be alone in this assessment here, Perri.
I'm bursting at the seams right now. So I will not be mad if Jamie Lee Curtis gets a nomination for this movie. I love this movie, and I wanted to get all the possible nominations. But I will be very, very upset if Jamie Lee Curtis gets a nomination and Stephanie Hsu does not. That will seriously disappoint me.
They're both great. And again, I have Stephanie Hsu. She's my honorable one of my honorable mentions. No. Again, this is tough.
She's my number 2. I'll spoil my number 2. I have Stephanie Hsu way up there.
Oh boy, Jeff, do you have Stephanie Hsu or Jamie Lee Curtis on your list?
Okay, a few weeks ago, you might have even had me having Jamie Lee Curtis at number 1. But right now, she is honorable mention. Her and Jessie Buckley are literally the two that I have at 6 and 7.
I can't wait to
hear and Stephanie is not sniffing this list. Come on, give me a break here.
Well then, who's your number 1, Jeff? I mean, I'm very disappointed that my number 1 is not even going to make the list. But okay,
I mean, there are so many options. It's really, you could pick a name out of a hat. But when I haven't seen She Said. I need to preface this.
Yeah,
by saying,
you did need to see.
When I think back on what is truly the best supporting actress turn I've seen this year, it's very hard for me to ignore the fantastic work of Hong Chow in The Whale.
That's okay. Hong Chow in The Whale. Okay.
I think Hong Chow is fantastic in The Whale. And I just think it's possible that movie may not just win one acting Oscar.
Okay, Perri, what do you think of Hong Chow in The Whale?
She is currently my number 4. I have yet to get a screening for The Whale. I'm very eager to see it. I have been very moved by everybody singing her praises, though, for her work in the movie. And I did just happen to see the menu, and she is also incredible in the menu. So I don't know. It just makes it really easy to get behind a potential nomination here. So she's my number 4.
Okay, well, if you both have her in your top 5, then that does put her on the list. Perry, who do you have at your number 2?
My number 2 is Stephanie Shu.
Okay. Oh, okay. And then Jeff, your number 2.
My number 2 is Kerry Condon from the Banshees of Inisherin. I just, and you could think of her as like the female lead of that movie, but I just thought she was great supporting Colin Farrell, and she deserves this nomination. She kind of came out of nowhere for me.
I agree. She's fantastic. I have her at number 3, Kerry Condon for the Banshees of Inisherin. Perry, do you have Kerry Condon on your list?
I do. She's my number 5.
There you go. Woo! We agree on something. That is fantastic news. All right. Well, my number 2, I do have Carey Mulligan for She Said at number 2. She has 2 prior acting nominations for lead actress for An Education, A Promising Young Woman. She's a really, really strong supporting actress this time for this incredible film. She Said, provocative, extremely well acted. I think Carey Mulligan is a lock for a nomination. I have her way up at number 2. Either of you have her on your list? Perry? No?
Carey Mulligan at this point in time would be my number 6. This is one of those movies where I'm curious to see how it's more widely received. I think at this point we're only allowed to give social media reactions, right?
I think no. That She Said, I think I've seen
because it's not. It isn't.
Is it still
AFI Fest premieres right around the corner? So
yeah, maybe it is.
All
right, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
I'll play it safe. I mean, I'm allowed to lightly say I thought the movie was very, very good, and I think she's really, really excellent in it. I think the beginning of the movie, because of what they need to convey about the history of what happened, plays a little bit like a bullet point Wikipedia page. But then once the movie gets going, it like really gets going. And what's stuck in my mind is that the particular sequence where that movie really gets going is for a performance that isn't even listed on Gold Derby. If I had a choice to put someone in supporting actress for She Said, I'd be picking Jennifer Ehle in a heartbeat. She's incredible.
Jennifer Ehle is great.
And she's not even an option for me to select right now.
I'm sure it will be. Samantha Morton is also great. So is Patricia Clarkson. I mean, again, an embarrassment of riches, to call back to Jeff's top of the conversation point about all of these nominees. But Jeff, do you have Carey Mulligan on your top 5?
I mean, sight unseen, I would put her at number 3. It's just, I haven't seen the movie, so it's tough. But if I did it blind, I would put her at number 3, just based on what I've heard about the performance, which is also, again, a co-lead. I think that really helps the amount of screen time that somebody has.
I agree. The fact that it's like, really, you're putting her in supporting when she should be a lead will help her get nominated for supporting, but she is worthy. I think, look, Perry, I know you haven't, you have it in your honorable mention. Jeff, sight unseen.
For the purposes of this, she is my 3.
To be fair, also, I mean, I'll just tell you, I have 2 people from Women Talking on my list right now, and I'm not feeling super confident about both of them getting nominations. But at this point in time, I can't really choose between the 2 of them, and one of them feels like a guarantee to me. But it's going to be a one over the other situation, and the second that happens, it'll leave room for somebody else.
For sure. Okay, well then, who was your other Woman Talking potential nominee?
My other is Claire Foy. And again, an embarrassment of riches in this category. I do think because that is the type of that's the type of playing field we're getting this year. I think there's only going to be room for one of them in the category.
Agreed.
It's hard too, because I think they're 2 of the most fiery performances in that movie. And I think easily one or the other could be very catchy and get a lot of support behind them. But again, I do think it's one over the other. And right now at this given point in time, I'm leaning towards Jessie Buckley over Claire Foy, but they're both on my list today.
Okay. I have Claire Foy in my honorable mentions at number 2. Claire Foy is my honorable mention number 2, but again, that could flip for reasons that Perry just said. Jeff, who's next on your list?
Okay, so again, I entered this with an actress at number 3, and I forgot Carey Mulligan. So but the actress at 3 is not going to 4. She's going to go to like a toss up at 5. So I'm going to stick with my 4, Scott.
Okay,
I
you're
go,
4.
now, Carrie Condon, Carrie Mulligan, and at number 4, Dolly De Leon from Triangle of Sadness.
Oh my God, she's
Just a
fantastic.
firecracker performance that comes in and changes up the third act entirely. She's incredible. I feel like she's going to be around for years as like a character actress who's in demand. And I think she's hard pressed to ignore.
Dolly De Leon is magnificent in this movie. You're right, Jeff. For the first half of the film, she's kind of in the background, and then when the the stakes really change in this movie, and boy, do they change! It is such a role reversal, which really underscores the point of this movie to begin with, which is kind of like a White Lotus at sea kind of a film. Is the best way to describe Triangle of Sadness. It is a wild movie, really, really disturbing, but really, really incredible movie. I'm glad that you have her on the list. Perri, do you have Dolly De Leon on your list?
I don't, but I definitely would include her in the honorable mention possible contender bubble. They're also, it feels like they are campaigning her quite nicely right now. So I think there's a good chance for a lot of buzz to build for that performance.
And Perri, you just hit the nail on the head. That's a Neon movie, right?
It's Neon. Yeah.
I think she has Adam Kirsch working on her behalf. I just like the people around that campaign.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely know what they're doing. Don't forget Neon won Best Picture for Parasite. Okay, so I'm just going to throw out my number 5 on my list. And again, this is not a solid, firm, locked-in number 5, but just one that I really feel pretty strongly about. It's Janelle Monáe for Knives Out, A Glass Onion Story. Oh, there you go. Here we go. I'm just going to go back to what I said at the top of this list.
She's good. I don't mean to dismiss her entirely, Scott.
You're dissing her. Go ahead.
There's. I think she's like, I think there are 2 other black actresses that you have ignored.
Okay, well, we haven't gotten to them yet.
Not again.
This could change. My list, is going to change by the end of this episode. Perri, do you have Janelle Monáe on your list?
I think Janelle Monáe is pretty exceptional in that movie. And perhaps if I were an Academy member, I might use one of my votes for her. But I don't think that Glass Onion is going to have as much luck in the acting categories as it will elsewhere.
Okay, well then, who rounds out your list, Perri, that we haven't gotten?
We've hit all of mine: Jessie, Buckley, Stephanie Hsu, Claire Foy, Hong Chow, and Carrie Condon.
Okay, Jeff, how about you? Who rounds out your list?
The toss-up for number 5 for me is the actress I had at 3, who was Gabrielle Union for The Inspection. I thought Gabrielle Union was great.
I'm seeing it tomorrow. I'm so excited.
But she is going up against another black mom role, and that is Angela Bassett in Black Panther, which I have not seen.
Yeah.
So I had to go between Angela Bassett and Gabrielle Union. Just so many more people are going to see Black Panther. And again, I haven't seen it, but I've heard she's fantastic in it. Yes. I'm going to go Angela Bassett at 5. And unfortunately, Gabrielle Union, who 20 minutes ago was my number 3, is getting bumped off the list.
I got to say, Angela Bassett.
Between one or the other.
Angela Bassett and Black
bump
Panther.
Somebody else out at this point.
Because it's a similar role or whatever. I mean, it's totally different roles, but it's the black mom role, which I think is going to get a nomination this year somewhere in there.
Well, I mean, look, Angela Bassett in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, she is fantastic. When I saw the film, I just went, wow, she goes above and beyond for a, superhero movie, kind of film. And look, she is magnificent in the film. I also think Thuso Mbidu in The Woman King is also magnificent. She's best known for being Cora on the Underground Railroad. She's another actress. I mean, I have her in my honorable mention. I have Angela Bassett in my honorable mention. Stephanie Hsu I have in my honorable mention. This is not easy. Anybody, and either of you, what are your thoughts on Anne Hathaway in Armageddon Time?
I haven't seen Armageddon Time. I'm also starting to see some mixed responses to that movie, and I think that's one of those cases where because it's not in the public eye as much as some of the other contenders, it's gonna very much rely on a near 100% amount of support in order to actually give it a chance to get a nomination. So I'm not really considering her at this point in time.
I liked Armageddon Time. I've seen it a couple times. I saw it at Telluride. I really liked it a lot. I think Anne Hathaway is really good in the film. I think she deserves a nomination. I think this is a tough field. Jeff, what do you think about Anne Hathaway in Armageddon Time?
I'm with you, man. So I thought it was very good, and I thought she was very good, and I would be totally fine if she got a nomination. But again, going to be tough. That's a small movie. That's just not going to be seen by as many people. Yeah, and I don't mean to make the Angela Bassett versus Gabrielle Union thing like a reductive conversation about race. I think it's the role. But yeah, like I said, an embarrassment of riches in this category. It's tough.
Bringing up Black Panther, though, because like as you guys just said with Armageddon Time, it's tough when you're a smaller movie trying to break in. I actually think Black Panther might have like the opposite type of challenge where me walking out of my first screening of that movie, like I stood there and thought to myself, that's a Best Picture nominee. It's something that I think is really good on screen, but transcends the screen in a really special way that should be honored. And her work in it is phenomenal. I think what could wind up hurting, because like sometimes I feel like you never know. Like I really like Black Panther, but there's a lot of intensity around these properties. And if that movie doesn't come out and get like this like really warm embrace from everybody, it could wind up in a similar situation, even though it's got the biggest platform out there.
Mm-hmm.
And Perri, I wanted to talk about that for a second because that weighed against Angela Bassett for me. It's like how many people are going to maybe take Black Panther as seriously as a movie like The Inspection? Again, Gabrielle Union, a fantastic dramatic performance. I think it is a tougher sell sometimes. We all assume that these comic book movie roles could get nominations because everyone's going to see the movie. But sometimes it's a tougher hill.
You know, the thing about Wakanda Forever is that it does transcend, you know, the typical sort of comic book based movie because, you know, they made a Black Panther movie without the Black Panther himself, you know, the late, great Chadwick Boseman. The movie takes on, it has a lot more gravitas. It has a much deeper meaning and a much bigger emotional payoff that transcends this type of genre. So I'm with Perri on this. And I also think that when I did see the film, the takeaway for me, well, among many, was just how above and beyond Angela Bassett goes in this role. And she's also, Angela Bassett, you know, this season, she is the voice of the opportunity rover in Goodnight Oppie. So she's has a couple strong showings this year, and A Goodnight Oppie is, I think, a lock to get nominated for Best Documentary. Wonderful film about the Mars and Opportunity rovers that went to Mars, supposed to be there for 90 days, lasted for like many, many, many years. Highly recommended. But either of you in your honorable mentions have any potential nominees from Babylon?
I'm starting to get really worried. I don't know if it's like what is it, Jeff? Mainly your skepticism. I don't know if it's seeped into my head, but I've hit a point where I've started to remove a lot of my Babylon predictions.
Who do they have? Who are the supporting contenders in that?
Well, Jean Smart is one of the supporting actress contenders, and I think Olivia Wilde is also. But I mean, Jean Smart, she just won 2 back-to-back Emmys. I mean, she talk about gravitas on the small screen or the big screen. Jean Smart is the real deal. But again, I mean, we haven't seen Babylon, so I don't know. So, okay, anyone else, Jeff?
No, but I was going to offer to like maybe do it like if we each give our 1 through 5 again, then I'll give each thing a point, and then we'll figure out which 5 have the highest points. You know what I mean?
Got it. Okay, Perri, does that work for you?
Yeah. I'm good.
Why don't you guys give me your top 5 again? I'll do the math, and you guys have a conversation while I do the math.
Okay,
so should just run through the top 5. All right,
man.
Perri, you go first.
All right, Jessie Buckley, Stephanie Hsu, Claire Foy, Hong Chow, and Kerry Condon.
You went too fast.
Oh, I'm sorry. Where did you lose me?
Jessie, Stephanie, Claire,
Hong Chow.
Yeah.
Kerry Condon.
Okay, my very loose top 5, very loose, none of them locked in stone, except Jamie Lee Curtis, Carey Mulligan, Kerry Condon, Jessie Buckley, and Janelle Monáe. Jeff, who's yours?
I need it one more time.
Okay, Jamie Lee Curtis,
yeah.
Carey Mulligan, Kerry Condon, Jessie Buckley, and Janelle Monáe.
All right, and my 5 were Hong Chow, Kerry Condon, Carey Mulligan, Dolly De Leon, and Angela Bassett. So let me do the math, and I will get us our 5 based on the point system.
Okay,
Because all over the place.
I mean, look, I would, for the sake of this conversation, I would flip Claire Foy with Jessie Buckley. Hong Chow, I would put in there for maybe Janelle Monáe because, I mean,
So I'm going to take out Janelle Monáe. I'm going to put in Hong Chow at your 1. And you want me to flip Carrie and Carey?
Not yet. Perri. Well, wait a minute. You've right. Wait. Okay.
I definitely lose with Stephanie.
Okay. Yes, you definitely lose with Stephanie. All right. For now. Stephanie Shu. Okay. So who do we got? Who's our top 5 so far, Jeff?
I'm trying to get it. 3.
I'll predict it's going to be Jessie, Claire, Hong Chow, Kerry Condon, and Carey Mulligan.
Yes, that's it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That's the top 5?
Do it again. Jessie
Buckley, Claire Foy, Hong Chow, Kerry Condon, Carey Mulligan.
No Claire Foy. No Claire Foy.
Okay. Remove Claire Foy.
Okay. So who gets in over Claire Foy?
Carrie, Jessie, Carey, Hong. That's 4. So who is our 5th one?
Angela Bassett.
I could get behind Angela Bassett.
There's Dolly. There's Angela, Jamie Lee Curtis, Stephanie.
Wait! I forgot somebody. Nina Hoss for Tar.
We did forget to talk about her, but I don't think that she has a chance.
Why?
I don't really either.
Not enough meat on that bone.
I also think that movie is just like such a showcase for Cate Blanchett. It's going to be too easy to forget about everyone around her, which is unfortunate because there's great work happening around her too. But like, she is so damn magnetizing in that role that you can't take your eyes off her.
I agree with you, but Nina Hoss is definitely a standout in that film as well.
Right now our 5 would be technically it would be Jamie Lee Curtis because she was your number 1 man. So
yes, that's right. All right, so you named the top 5, Jeff, since you've been keeping score.
Is that who we're doing, or we're going with Jamie Lee Curtis? Because I don't think we should go with her.
Neither do I. I like, of all the ones that you guys have mentioned that aren't on my list, the one that I'm quickest to get behind is Angela Bassett.
All right, so then, okay, if Jamie Lee Curtis is out for now, which breaks my heart, but I have a feeling she'll be back, who gets in her place?
I mean, Angela Bassett was my 5. If you guys are okay with that one,
I'm definitely down with Angela Bassett. Okay, so
that leaves Claire Foy out, Anne Hathaway out, Jamie Lee Curtis and Stephanie Shu out, Dolly out.
All right,
and Anne Hathaway out, and Nina Hoss out.
All right, so then who's the 5, Jeff? You list it.
All right, the 5 that we have are Carey Mulligan for She Said, Jessie Buckley for Women Talking, Kerry Condon for The Banshees of Inisherin, Hong Chow for The Whale, and Angela Bassett for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Wow, that's a good list. That's a good list.
I got 4
Honestly, it's a good list, and it makes me even happier with the list that there are so many others that really like deserve a spot on the list too. It's just very exciting.
Well, this was a special episode of FYC because of the way we had to look. You know, we started this conversation by saying that it was an embarrassment of riches, and that meant picking our top 5 potential nominees was really, really difficult. But this is a list that for now I can get behind. Carey Mulligan for She Said, Kerry Condon for The Banshees of Inisherin, Jessie Buckley for Women Talking, Hong Chow for The Whale, and Angela Bassett for Wakanda Forever, Black Panther. So that's our 5 for now. As we've said many times, that list could change the next time we cover supporting actress. But next time on FYC, we'll be covering supporting actor, and we will see how much of a tough time we have picking those 5 potential nominees. But that is next on FYC. Make sure before you go, make sure you click on Perri Nemiroff's YouTube channel so you can subscribe. You can subscribe to Perri's channel. Be the first to know when a brand new FYC posts. Also, be the first to know when all of her amazing content is the first to post. So click that subscribe button right now and be sure to catch us next time on FYC when we cover Best Supporting Actor. Until then, FYC you. Later.